First, we want to say thank you to the Nigerian Embassy in Cameroon for celebrating us. We appreciate you more than you know. Other than that, we do not feel appreciated or celebrated after achieving this historical feat. In 2017, we won the AfroBasket Championship, and 3 days later, we were presented to the Father of Nations, Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari, and his entire cabinet by the former ministry, Honorable Solomon Dalong, as customary with handshake. We have defended our championship and brought back the cup in 2019 and 2021, which is historical, but still, no invitation has been extended to the team to visit Asura or a presidential handshake. Why?
President of NBBF, Musa Kita, said that the Federation isn't owing any players, officials, or vendors. This is far from the truth. The last time we checked, our allowances, stipends, bonuses, training grants, and donations made by banks for players, officials, and volunteers still have not been paid.
We are owed $73,118 from the NBBF, $24,000 from the ministry for the Tokyo grant, and $100,000 from donations from 3 banks in Nigeria.
Ever since our general manager and team manager resigned, we feel like we're being marginalized. Our senior leadership, like the former president, never really shows up for camps or competitions to boost our morale. And when we have significant concerns and issues that needs to be addressed, when he does show up, we get vague answers, as if our concerns aren't important to him. But when we win, they magically show up for photo ops and celebrations to use for political gain. Musa Kita was not in Cameroon, but somehow he showed up to Abuja to take pictures and to hoist the trophy, again, for political gain.
The Tokyo 2020 Olympics was full of a bunch of distractions for all of us. We didn't know the final roster until the day before the flight. So our first team practice was in Tokyo days before the first game.
There's a lot of things that could have been handled differently to increase our chances of success. Starting with our travel, there was a 36-hour flight, our team gear and uniforms, making sure they're up standard, 2 practices a day, not being able to access medical staff at certain points during the Olympics, as well as gift exchange between teams.
Why hasn't the team been to Nigeria since 2019? We're wondering the same thing. As the Tigers players, we want to go back to Nigeria. We don't understand why we have not been to the country for the last 2 years for camp or for any celebration. It's customary that the team is to go home for major competitions so that we can have morale. It's also important that we inspire the next generation to follow their dreams. Every player that has been a D-Tigress since 2017 has their own thoughts and feelings about the dissolved NBBF board and coaching staff over the course of the time. It is evident that our voices have not been heard, our requests for little things have been ignored, on top of not being celebrated or recognized as much as a 3 times back-to-back African Cup of Nations champion deserves.
Our demands: all money owed to players, officials, and vendors, adequate travel to competitions, and a team manager for all team functions. If these demands are not met, with all due respect to the presidency, the NBBF, and the ministry, all D-Tigers players will not be reporting to the FIBA World Cup tournament in 2022 in February. We are one united voice.
I stand.
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 I stand.